The best way you can support me is with a simple subscribe. Subscribe to my channel for more content like this. It's the TALIAFERRO TV. How's everybody doing? All right, y'all know I love when rap artists put their pride to the side, do interviews. For a while, Meek wasn't really feeling the mainstream world. I believe he feel like a lot of people turned their backs on him in the Drake situation and the situations with Nicki and everything that transpired. And I think Meek Mill feels as if though a lot of people turned their backs on him. So he kind of stepped away from interviews. He ain't really did a full media spin since what, 2015? Now he's doing interviews with Ebro, Funk Flex, I believe tomorrow. I mean, he has a lot coming up, and his album Wins and Losses, I think I said Against All Odds yesterday, excuse me for that. He has a lot coming up, and I like Meek when he's in this space because I've always told y'all, I remember back when I was like, man, Meek could have a Tupac-like impact on the culture because he knows what to say. He understands how important music is and how influential it is on these kids. And Meek knows what to say. He always says the right thing. Now, the thing with Meek, what we've critiqued him on my channel and other platforms for, Meek says the right thing, but a lot of his actions have been otherwise, right? He always says the right thing in interviews. He's the king of that. But he became what they call him Twitter fingers. He's been on Instagram wilding a lot of the time. Hell, him and Nicki were getting to it like last week on Instagram. And again, I can't tell them how to hash out their things. It's just the fact that Meek has like 11 million followers, 12 million, 20 million followers. And we see it. And he's a public figure. And you think he have more discretion to handle this in a more private setting, his issues. We've seen him hash out Wale online. We've seen him, of course, hash out other guys. But the biggest thing he hashed out online, which has been his career-defining moment from a mainstream standpoint, has to be when he got on Twitter that night a couple years ago and dissed Drizzy Drake. Said Drake had a ghostwriter. He ain't writing his stuff. Dressed why Drake wouldn't tweet his album out. That's how he got the term Twitter fingers put on his name. And he been trying to shake it ever since. They blew his comment section up with L after L after L. They spelled his name lowercase M-E-E-K, M-I capital L-L-L-L-L. He got the most of it for a couple years, right? And I think it's worth noting that Meek said there's a certain type of audience that gives him L's. I think I know what he means by that. Anyways, Meek had just come off his highest first week sales, 250,000 the first week. Had Nicki. Life was going good from a mainstream, from an image standpoint for Meek at this time. Probably was feeling himself. He's admitted that he was on drugs. We're just going to get into what Meek said about what happened and why he dissed Drake and how he handled that situation. Here's what he said this morning with Ebro in the morning and Laura Styles during this exclusive interview. So it's a really good interview. He was very open and candid, talking about his issues, things that he put on himself. This is what he said about the Drake situation. I was on lean and perks. I don't do that anymore. He's like, I'm getting high, escaping my reality. I have dreams of being this rich. He's like, why am I hiding from my reality? I was out of control at that point. The way I was coming at everybody, not just Drake. We had little things I didn't agree with, but when I'm off the drugs, I'm coming 1,000 miles per hour. I think I could have approached the Drake situation better. I've got people that have shot at me that I've ended beef with. That's saying, look, if I've shot at people and they shot at me and we ended the beef, this with Drake is nothing. Eventually, me and Drake will have a conversation. I'm going to let it happen naturally. Nobody can fix this but me or Drake. All right, first, let me give Meek Mill credit. I don't think he's doing it just because he has an album out. I think he really feels as if though he messed that relationship with Drake up. For those who don't know, Drake had really went out of the way to show Meek some love in the past. Like Drake had, I think he flew out from out the country, and Drake's got the bread, don't get me wrong, but I think he made his schedule a way that he could shoot Meek Mill's Amen video. Drake had did a lot for Meek in the past, and I think Drake looks at it like Meek turned his back on him over some stuff that he say, she say. And instead of going to the source, which was Drake, Meek got on Twitter and became Twitter fingers that night, right? So I do want to give Meek a shout out for handling it like a man and apologizing for something that he got wrong. I've always maintained that Meek was dead wrong for that. Like, if you feeling that about Drake, you got to stand on that and have a plan. The thing was, Meek ain't have a plan. he said he was on the drugs, and the drugs is what did it to him. Like, he wasn't listening. Like, I always say I feel like the Dream Chasers could be better around Meek, but Meek said himself, like, if I'm on the drugs, I ain't listening to nobody, right? And if I'm Drake, do I ever squash it with Meek? I don't know. You hear Meek talk about how he was into it with his with people who shot at him and he shot at, and they've been able to squash it. If I'm Drake, maybe you want to do that, maybe you don't. I don't think Drake has any reason to want to squash it. Maybe he just wants to do it so they can move in the same venue, same arenas. That'll be fine down the line. But what Meek tried to do to Drake, and I don't know if Meek really understands this concept of what I mean. He tried to end Drake's career, right? Like, when I'm listening to a Drake record, y'all already know to get the hashtag ready. When I'm listening to a Drake record, and it's hard when Drake's better verses. The thing that goes to the back of my mind is hashtag, but did you write it though? Y'all gotta hashtag that and tweet that at itsmrtaliaferro. Hashtag, but did you write it though? And I always ask myself that about Drake, and I didn't have these questions or concerns. Maybe it was something that was already lingering around the industry before then. I ain't in the industry. But when Meek brought that to a forefront about Drake probably not writing his lyrics, I don't look at Drake the same way. You might hear me say, dang, if you say Kendrick's a better MC than Drake, I really can't argue with that right now. Because I can't argue. I don't even know if Drake's writing this stuff. I want to believe that Kendrick's writing this stuff. I want to believe Meek's writing this stuff. I want to believe Cole's writing this stuff. Sean's writing this stuff. They've shown me nothing otherwise. I just don't know if I can believe Drake's writing this stuff. We know he gets help on the song stuff, the rap song stuff, the rap R&B hyphenated stuff. But now we believe, some of us believe, Drake might be getting help with the bars. And if that's the case, Drake doesn't have to ever mend the fences with Meek, because Meek tried to end his career. A lot of us don't consider Drake at the top of hip-hop. And I actually did consider him at the top of hip-hop before all that happened. And a lot of things came to the forefront. So, I mean, if I'm Drake, why end it? I mean, I probably would never. If Drake really feels like he went out on a limb for Meek and did a lot to show love to him, even though Meek has apologized, I accept apology. But I never want to move in a space with Meek again. That's just me personally. Hopefully, Drake's a better person than me, and maybe they can work together at some form or fashion in the future. If I'm Drake, though, I wouldn't do that. And it's nothing against Meek. I would accept the apology. And again, salute to Meek for doing that. I just think that was a huge step as a man. But would I want to move in the same spaces as Meek if I'm Drake? No, I just don't want to do that. I don't. Like, the energy could be real in the apology, but you try to end my career. You question if I'm a rapper without even hitting me up and asking me about the verse. Was it a reference track, or did you not write the bars? You went to social media and we supposed to be homeboys? Nah, ain't no coming back for that. For me personally, again, I hope Drake ain't as petty as me. What do you think about Meek Mill apologizing to Drake with his interview with Ebro in the morning? Talk to me in the comment box below. Really good interview. Salute to Meek Mill for apologizing. I just think it's at that point right now where I don't see any reason to come back from it. But it is good to know that these two brothers can, I guess, technically be in the same space. And you know there's no tension on Meek Mill and the Chaser side. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so. I'm out.
I want to salute you, homie, you know, for building your own thing and doing your own thing, creating your own platform, your own website.
I got one life to live out my dreams, and I'm giving this thing all I got. I interview celebrities. I talk sports. I represent the culture.
Right now you're turning up on itsmrtaliaferro.com, shawty.